Welcome back to K5J Gaming, man, and today I want to talk about a tank build for PVE and PvP. These guys wanted to get into my video. They said, "Oh, do K5, right? You want to get into the video?" So I kind of felt happy about that I was a little bit known in the game, man. I try to come in here and make builds, but let's get into it, man. First off, PVE side of things, I have a Leech and Taunt. I have the Hoplite Longsword. I have Leech and Taunt. 300% generated more threat, and you heal for 3% of the damage you deal. To me, one of the best gems in the game to have on there. I have Keen for some crit. I have Refreshing Move to get down my cooldowns back faster, and Trenched Rend to inflict rends on heavy melee cooldown. I probably would switch that out for one of my talents on my tree, which I'll talk about in a second. Now, I'm not using a Warhammer for this build. I'm using a Power Stone. So when I am able to upgrade at the Gypsum Kiln, I am going to put Mending Vortex on this build. You know what the Power Stone do, but I have Enchanted Ward, I have Refreshing Move, and Light and Heavy attacks. Now, even in PvE, I don't want to switch this gem out for PvP because I don't want to keep switching. Because if y'all know, these gems cost a lot of money. So I'd rather just keep this in for right now. You can't get two Power Stones, but you can get 2 long swords. So eventually I'll switch out this long sword and I'll get another long sword and put a different gem on there to kind of give me some more damage towards these PvP players. But on the PvE side, this is what I have right now. Right now I have thrust protection. You know what the thrust protection for, and it's mandatory you have health. I like unimpeded. I would like to put something on there, maybe like regenerating, because regenerating gives you more threat. I have a physical ward damage in there. And that's pretty it for Into the Ring. Now for this ring, I'm using a Privateer's Hell Room. It comes with a nature ward. Now I'll switch out wards depending on the dungeon I'm doing, but for the most part I do run Gorgon every week, so I just keep the nature gem in there. And a lot of PvP players have nature damage in their things as well. Leeching for heal for 7.1% of the damage you deal. I have slash damage for my sword, slash damage, and obviously hardy for stamina on there. Here we go, more. I got Despise, so I generate 245% more threat, Refreshing Toast, and I got a Refreshing with a physical ward in there. Moving over to the Hoplite Tower, I have Enchanted Ward, Shield Defense, Refreshing, and Sturdy. Works good in PvE and PvP. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky right here. These punishing physical ward gems, or these Rune Glass Onyx gems, they are expensive. I think they run about 2,000 on the market. Yeah, and you know, gold is hard to come by in this game. I have 1 piece of Hasted Vigor on there for PvP, and I can use it in PvE as well. Comes with refreshing and health. I got my first pair of Frigid Dawn gear sets, and this is Elemental Ward and Enchanted Ward and Refreshing. I have another ward gem on there, and I'm getting that melee attack, so I want to get some more. I want to be able to do some type of damage as a tank. You want to be able to help your team and keep aggro. So if you can, Frigid Dawn is running. It's been running for the last 2 weeks, so there's no excuses why you can't do all 35 of your mutated expeditions to get these pieces. Just keep farming, keep farming. Next, we come into the Hoplite Gauntlets. I cannot wait to take this fire harnessing off. It's the only heavy gloves that I got right now. And I gotta suffer. So right now, I would definitely obviously have Enchanted Ward, Refreshing, and Health, and then I would move this off to a different shield and take off Refreshing, and I would use this shield over here, which is Sturdy Energy, Sturdy Shield Defense, and Enchanted Ward. That's the ideal shield that I want, but for right now, because of keeping the refreshing on, my refreshing maxed out, I have to go with this right now. But as soon as I get some dark matter, which is just too much in this game, I'll switch that out. The must-have PvE and PvP piece: physical aversion, Enchanted Ward, health, and another Rune Glass Onyx. But Dark Enforce is the reason. It increases your armor by 20%. This is a must. Please go and get the Void Dark Plate if you want to tank. If you want to do anything, get this piece, please. And I upgraded it to 725. It costs way too much dark matter, but do what you got to do, right? Hoplite Helm. I got 5% strike absorption, which is cool. I'm not tripping about that. Enchanted Ward and health. I would like to put health on there once I'm able to upgrade. Health again. So you want to keep it health and Enchanted Ward. You want to try to mitigate as much damage that you can. And you see I have 2% physical damage absorption. So I'm trying to take as much damage absorption physically as I can. The only thing I would say in PvP that does struggle with this build, obviously all builds is not going to be centerized perfect, is the elemental damage. But if you're running Frigid Dawn, you'll be able to get some of that elemental damage, you know what I'm saying, taken off. But I don't have Frigid Dawn pieces right now except for this one. I do have a chest piece, but I'm not switching that out for Void Darkplate. Definitely not. So this is what I run right here as a tank. As you can see from the clip earlier and the clip later, you can definitely use this in PvP and you can do your thing. If you want to be in that fight, you want to be in that thing, just causing havoc, you know what I'm saying, taking damage for the team so everybody can move in advance. Tank is not to be a DPS. That's what DPS is for. When you're tanking, you're supposed to be able to do some DPS. You're supposed to be able to crowd move, keep the crowd running, keep your DPS up. Hopefully you got some decent healers. That is the most important thing about tanking. Stop getting into the rhythm of thinking that you're a tank DPS. You can do some DPS as a tank, but you're never going to do all of the DPS that a DPS does. So again, our job is to, in PvE, generate threat, hold aggro. Our job in PvP is just to hold the line. And if you watch Game of Thrones, hold the door, hold the door. Now let's get into the attributes right now. Right now I'm running 300 con, 330 strength. I could and should, right? I should at least have put ability cool, but you don't really need it. As long as you got the refreshing, you good, and you have refreshing move on the on both of your weapons. So if I'm not mistaken, let's go back. You have refreshing. Yeah, you have refreshing move on both of the weapons, so you're going to get your cooldowns back again faster anyway. So I kind of went heavy on the strength, plus it scales with strength more. So I'm doing 1349 and 1300 max health, 2089, like 2892. You can switch it and possibly go 350 if you want to feel more tanky. You can go 350. I don't believe you need it, because as you've seen from the clips, you can definitely get into the fight. And I'm not too sure if 350, I have to test it, but I'm not too sure if 350 or 300 is going to make that much of a difference. Now let's go into weapon mastery. I'm missing 1 point off my flail. 1 point. I don't know how. I thought I had it up, but it's going to go right here to Vital Embrace. So once I get it to 20, it's going to go here. All right, so let's go over here real quick. While above or at or above 50%, reduce your damage taken. So if you're healed up if you're healed up and you have that, you're gonna go a lot. It's gonna take you a lot, and you're gonna be able to take more damage as you go. So it's vital suppressant. Next one, obviously, reductive superiority. Decrease base duration of crowd control effects on player by 10%. So while you out there just moving and grooving, kind of everywhere you get, I'm telling you, man, it works. You're getting a base duration of crowd control effects on the player by 10%. First one, Arcane Eruption. Now remember, I'm going to put Mending Vortex on my flail. So right now I'm using Arcane Eruption. Drag the head of the flail to the ground, causing an eruption of arcane energy in front of the player, dealing 120% damage. And you're getting 2 stacks of impairment for all the targets hit. And if you know you're in the middle of PvE or PvP, you're going to be in that line of sight of everybody. You automatically follow that up and deal 100% weapon damage. And then you're dealing 10% and you're inflicting reducing their damage by 10%. So you're just like absorbing more damage. So it's just like you're not really getting damaged at all. And then targets hit with the first attacker burst are slow, reducing their movement by 40% for 3 seconds. Follow-up attack triggers a train that will bounce up to 4 times allies within 6 meters. You granting them total damage as health to each ally it changed, and 35% each till it's damage to self. I read that wrong. Of its total damage as health to each ally it changed to, and 35% of its total damage to self. Next, I want to go back up here real quick. It's a lot with the flail. I'm sorry, guys. Abilities and heavy attacks hit against the targets with less than 50% increase your incoming healing. So you're gaining healing and you're gaining haste. I was moving fast as heck as a tank when I was in PvP, and I was like, why am I moving so damn fast? But it definitely works. Arcane Vortex. That's that swirl around. I think the thing that everybody loves. You get empower. You're granting yourself empower on the first spin and for allies in the radius, and the rapid hits for 75% damage in a 3-meter radius. And I took the tree down. It's giving you 4 times on it, on inflicting rend and move, and you're inflicting root and immobilizing them. After that, you're hitting the target vortex. That stacks haste on itself. I already have hasted vigor on my boots, and I just be moving so fast. And I was like, why am I moving so fast as a tank? And then your allies get his haste as well. This is so much. I'm sorry, y'all. And allies within 3 meters of player during the Arcane Vortex are cleansed of crowd control status effects. So while you're using this, you're cleansing the whole team, and you're healing for 65% of the weapon damage. So you're like you're cleansing them, and you're healing them for the weapon damage as well. And I took it all the way around. And light, light, you get more radius, but in the heavy, I'm taking a little bit less. But as a tank, if you ain't in the, with me, you know what I'm saying, you outside, you doing your elemental damage. Leader of the pack. When no allies are within 5 meters, all fail attacks deal 15% more base damage. This is for them fights when you by yourself. When you by yourself and you may be fighting a ranged person, or you run into great sword, these Hadoukens they throwing through the great sword, which is, I hate that crescent jump. But again, I don't hate anything. When one or more allies are within 5 meters, they gain in power, increasing their damage dealt. Like, you're just a leader. Like, this flail is made for tanks. Like, I don't understand. Like, when you read it, it's literally made for tanks. Again, and like I said, once I get my last talent, Vital Embrace, as I said earlier, and then we're gonna go down to Arcane Smite. That's that leap forward and you smash everything to the ground, dealing 100%, 130% weapon damage to all targets within a 2.7 meter attack, and you leave behind impairment that inflicts a stack around all targets for 6 seconds. You're leaving behind a hazardous impact. That's that small circle that everybody's around. And in that impairment, you deal 10% per second and weakens the target, reducing their base damage. So look at what you're doing. You're doing everything with the flail. You're reducing their base damage by 10%. So if they're empowered and all the way capped out with damage, you're removing that by 10%, while all the while you're doing you're empowering everybody within the same radius, and you're healing and you're cleansing. So the flail is like, man, I really like the flail for tanks. It's a must to me. Like, I picked this. I don't pick it over the Warhammer, but it's second close. Like, I'm sorry, it's second. As for the Swordmaster tree, I went damage on this one, Whirling Blade. If you're a tank, you kind of already know like everything, but this is the tree. Because this Wilson that took it all out of me. That flail is a lot, but you're dealing Ren, successfully hit with you're losing a debuff, so you definitely want to start using that. You got your spin on your jump, you hitting the target, you're weakening them for 6 seconds because you're in a heavy gear set. While you're cooling everything down by each enemy you hit 5%. Obviously, I'm running the leadership talent. Anybody that's around me while I'm holding the sword. So after I use all of my flail stuff, I come right back into my empower, because for the DPS that's a melee DPS, they all getting empowered. I'm increasing their ability. Your job. I have so much responsibility as a tank. You have to know when to play. Sometimes the game is just not about how much damage you do, but how smart you play. So stop just go ahead and go and looking at other people saying, oh, you're not doing as much damage. As long as you're controlling the game. Everybody can't be Steph, but you could be Draymond. Everybody got the same amount of championships, but I digress. I got upheaval. I'm gonna put this talent on my weapon. It upward slice. You deal 100% 80, and it has grit. 180% damage, and it has grit. We move over to sturdy shield. I'm getting more physical armor. I'm granting myself more physical armor when I have the shield in there. This one I'm reducing all. I have to get some. I wish I can elemental. I need something to keep these fire people off me, right? Because I'm not running I could run a fire gem in there and then have fire protection, but this helps me a little bit at 10%. The final blow, the third attack, you're dealing way more. You're dealing 15% more base damage, and if you're in heavy equipped load, generates additional threat. That means when you slash, you keeping that threat on, and now you have it on your earring and you have it on your sword. When you block, you have to block. Please block, because you gain Fortify for 5 seconds. Fortify increases your armor, so now you're getting more armor, plus the 20% from the Darken from the Void Blade. Please, y'all, all incoming, you're increasing your healing and regeneration that you get. So when you take a potion, or you're healing from the flail, or you're healing from the healers who should be doing their job, you will get more healing, and it increases by 10%. And obviously Defender's Resolve all the way down to keep your healing up, to keep your heals up, to keep your grit up, to keep everything up. Like obviously the Tower Shield, you gain Fortify, which Fortify, as you see, where is it? Where is the Fortify button at? Fortify increases more armor, right? So you want more armor, and you're getting grit. Like, come on now. So again, this is my build. This is what I'm running. Now, for the extras out there that might not have the 725 gear, I'm going to hold your hand real tight when I say this, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you that if you grind, forget the raid right now, but for all new tanks, all you have to do is simply come over here, scroll all the way down, and I don't do the crazy edits because I really want y'all to get it, because this stuff is really important. So you can start off here. The heavy chest piece, 700 gear score. How do you get this, Jay? You have to do your dungeons. You get 35 dungeons a week. You get the dense materia, and you can go ahead and craft. You can go ahead and buy this, right? You buy it with your dense materia, and hopefully it gives you something like a health. And if not, when you buy it, you can also redo it and craft it again as a 700 and put health, because this is what it comes with already. So it comes with Enchanted Ward, refreshing. So all you need is 4 pieces, right? And because you have the Void Dark Plate, remember, you have the Void Dark Plate, right? Every other piece around that can get crafted into Enchanted Ward, refreshing, and you can put health on there to get your gears up. So just because you don't have the hoplite gear, or you don't have the the top gear, this is the second best right here to me. This is one of the second, if not top 3, top 4 that you can get without even farming if you can't get into a raid, right? So again, you can come here, get the Azov breastplate, and they have all of the pieces. Azov crystal, heavy, Enchanted Ward, refreshing. Azov crystal arms, Enchanted Ward, refreshing. And they got the boots. They got the boots and the gloves somewhere. I can't find it right now. Oh, here we go. There we go. Another one. There you go. The glove. I mean, that's the pants. You know, then here goes the legs. Or the legs is somewhere in here. Somewhere. They somewhere in here. Oh, here they are. Up here. Wait, where's the legs at? The legs. Oh, here they are. Right, the legs, here they go, right here, boom. So you have a whole set if you just keep continuously farming and you follow the method. Get you a power stone, look it up on how to get the power stone, and then there's other swords you can get. It's not just a hoplite sword, there's other swords as well, but this is just gear based that I kind of want to share with everybody. So just in case you can't say in the comments, oh, I can't get into a raid, or I can't get that, this is another portion of the way you can do it, and that's farming yourself. People are jumping into these expeditions, these mutated expeditions, man. So this is another way you can get your gear set, man. All right, man, this is K5J. Oh, and before I get out of here, man, let me tell you, you definitely need, if you can't afford like me, because I'm broke, which I wish I can, and sometimes I'll buy it depending on how much gold I got. Don't be looking at my gold in the bottom, but you can buy the powerful honing stone, right? You get the powerful honing stone to give you more damage, right? I use my oak flesh bomb because it increases your absorption physical damage type by 35 seconds or until the damage is received. I stay with those two, right? And then I would come down and I would take a desert sunrise, reducing the damage over time effects. So I won't be out here just burning up or icing up for a long period of time. Or you could use a strong gem dust, which I know I got somewhere. It's probably in my here we go. I got strong gem dust. I can get powerful, but like I said, I'm a little cheap, and it's probably costing me a little bit something. You know what I mean? But this build is fun. I really like it. It's a crowd controller, and that's basically what tanks is supposed to do. I'm sorry if I wasted your time and this wasn't for you, but K5J Gaming, and I am out.